Very warm good afternoon in these days of rain. Dear Toastmasters, guests, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to one more edition of Medley Toastmasters Club. I am Guru Prasad, your Sergeant Rams from Medley Toastmasters Club. Toastmasters is a global organization supporting in people who would like to improve themselves on leadership and communication skills. As a motto, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. How do we do it? Next 2 hours is your laboratory where you can watch how this is getting done. However, to make this experience more effective, useful, and enjoyable, there are some ground rules we request all the audience to follow so that the meeting happens seamlessly. Being a remote meeting till date, keep your mic on mute unless you are delivering a speech or performing something upon request. Keep your mobile phone in silent mode during the meeting, particularly when you speak. I'll give you a couple of seconds to open up your mobile and bring down the ringtone to 0. Prefix your name with TM underscore if you are a Toastmaster and guest underscore if you are a guest attending this call. So I give you a couple of seconds to do it. Let us see. I am doing it myself. Role players kindly prefix with role player name. Please stay in the meeting throughout the entire length of this meeting so that you get the full benefit out of attending a Toastmasters meeting, and also it's a form of respect we provide to the organizers of the meeting. They have taken so much of pains in planning and conducting the meeting throughout. It will be an insult if we exit abruptly without even a polite apology. Kindly use the chat box liberally to receive as well as send messages during the course of the meeting, and also communicate to us if you happen to leave the meeting abruptly due to unavoidable situations. With these words of introduction, I am very glad to welcome and introduce the presiding officer of today, none other than the president of Medley Toastmasters Club, who is trying to bring in blasts and sparklers in Medley meetings every week and week starting from his term. So with these nice words, I would like to introduce him and invite him to take over the meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Ranga, President of Medley Toastmasters.
Thank you for the warm introduction, DTM Guru Prasad. With the sound of this gavel, I declare meeting number 649 open. Good afternoon to DTM Thomas T. Abraham, DTM Guru Prasad, fellow Toastmasters and guests. It's indeed a pleasure to welcome you all for this meeting. One of the most important things that I have learned over a period of time is speaking is never easy, but I heard the speech of our the ISC winner, Ms. Toastmaster DTM Verity Prize, and she was very eloquent as well as empathetic. And from there, I learned one important thing. To be natural is very important. And trying to imbibe these qualities in every meeting that I conduct. Having said that, let me just speak to some of the guests who have come in today. I see guest Jayasudha. Could you unmute yourself and say a few words about Medley Toastmasters, how you found the Toastmasters and Medley in particular?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Jayasudha, counseling psychologist. I feel I have to improve my communication skill. That's why I joined this Toastmaster Club. I don't know how far I will manage. So today I'll be a listener and I'll observe what is happening here. Thank you so much for the opportunity, sir.
welcome to Medley. We are sure that you will find this session very entertaining, and we hope that you will be coming back as frequently as possible. So having said that, I don't see any other guests. Okay, so with that, I'll hand over the baton to our TMOD, Mohan Sundaram. A few words about Mohan Sundaram. He has been with Anubhavam Software for the last 3 years, and coincidentally, also a Medley Toastmaster for the last 3 years. He hails from a village called Mahendravadi near Arakonam. The strangest thing is it was built by a Pallava king, Mahendra Varman, whom we all know closer to Mahabalipuram. But near Arakonam, yes, he did that. And there are multiple caves there, which are as old as the Mahabalipuram temples. So I'm sure it's a place for all of us to visit. With that, let me hand it over to TMOD Mohan Sundaram.
Thank you, Presiding Officer, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests. It's my privilege and a pleasure to welcome all you to the Medley Toastmasters Club again. For the benefits of guests, and I would like to explain the structure of the meeting. The meeting is divided into 3 parts, and first part is prepared speeches. The members will be delivering their speeches based on the project and the passes. And the second part and the second session is a table topic session. The members practice their speaking and learning on the skills. And this session is also known as a impromptu session, where the guests were welcome to attend the speeches. And third part is evaluation sessions. So the session will be prepared speeches, and the session will be evaluated by the general evaluator and his team. The theme of the day is no pain, no gains. Everyone has heard this proverb, and no pain, no gains during their school days. Success is an entity which is liked by everyone to grab in their sight. So the pain and the gains are interrelated. So our ancestor told me that, and having a dialogue with the dead people, they express the many benefits for the benefits of future generations. What they told is, and to achieve or be master in a skill, one doesn't matter to work 2 hours per day, or 8 hours, or 10 hours per day in order to achieve a goal. I would like to explain this with a living example, Michael Phelps. You know that Michael Phelps has won the 28 gold medals for the United States of America. He has started his career at the age of 7. He was coached by Bob Bowman. And during his practice session, he left only one day, that was his school anniversary. So he practiced very relentlessly to achieve his career. Let's back to the session. I am accompanied by the general evaluator. Today, the role is played by the Toastmaster Shankar. Toastmaster Shankar is a cost accountant. He has 16 years of experience in finance sector, and he was working in the HSBC about a decade. Presently, he is working in one of the US-based MNC as a managerial position. Regarding a theme, when you get something easy, it will lose their charm. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our general evaluator, Toastmaster Shankar.
Thank you, TMOD Mohan Sundaram. A very happy afternoon, fellow Toastmaster and honorable guests. If you have a chance to check with successful people in the world and ask, what is your success mantra? Trust me, Toastmaster, most of the people unanimously say that they received a critical feedback either from mentors, colleagues, friends, and very importantly, they had applied their feedbacks. The success of the person is guaranteed if he or she gets the right critics at the right time. Similarly, in Toastmaster, you will not be the same person when you compare between your first that is ice-breaking speech, and when you complete your level 2 speech. The best part, the best part is that you will start or you will be witnessing your transformation within yourself in just 6 months when you start applying the feedback from your evaluator. The feedback in Toastmaster is like a 360-degree of evaluating your speech, like how was the speech, what and how it can be improved, be it's a facial reaction or tone or pitch, everything will be analyzed and shared with your positive manner in just matter of 1 hour's time. I must say that I personally benefited from Toastmasters a lot. If you ask me, some of the senior Toastmaster in this group, how my ice-breaking speech was and how I'm improving day by day, I feel proud myself. Most importantly, I start applying the Toastmaster experience. It is not only in Toastmaster, but also I started incorporating either at my home or in office, and even with my son too. Now he start delivering his speech. Now I'm so happy that I'm part of Toastmaster fraternity. Back to the business meeting. Today, I will be evaluating the entire proceeding of the meeting along with my core two team members. One is that tag team, and the next team it is the evaluation team. That evaluator will make their mass presence later part of the meeting. Now, I would like to introduce one pillar of my team, that is tag. I feel that tag team plays a pivotal role in Toastmaster. Basically, they critically analyze your speech and share your benefit for your benefit, be it's the prepared speech, or it is the evaluation speech, or it is the TT speaker. So first, as the name denote, time, T stands for timer, and the timer role will be performed by Toastmaster Jai, who is the president in Verizon Toastmaster Club. I would request Toastmaster Jai to read about the timer objective.
Thanks, Shankar, for the warm welcome and make me as a timer. I'll take a pride in introduce the timer roles and the responsibilities. So, as a timer, I will time the table topics, speakers, formal speeches, and the evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards, which denotes specific times remaining. To start with, at the lower time limit, I'll be showing the green card. Hope the screen is visible. Sir?
Yeah.
Okay. At the intermediate time limit, I'll be showing the yellow card. And at the upper time limit, I'll be showing the red card, in which the timer, like the speaker has 30 minutes to wrap that speech after the red card. So when, as per general evaluator at the end, I'll be submitting my report. Till then, over to you, GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jai. Next, we move on into the next role. It is very important role on our counter. Today, the R counter role will be performed by Toastmaster Venkatpalli, who is a software engineer and working in Chennai. Toastmaster Venkatpalli, can I have the R counter objective?
Hi, thank you, G. Could you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, G. Shankar Govindarajan. Yeah, as a I counter, the purpose of the I counter is note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and, you know. I will also listen to filler sounds, including there. I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase, such as I, this means, this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkatpalli. So moving on to another one of the critical role in Toastmaster, that is for grammarian role. Today, the grammarian role will be performed by Toastmaster Dinesh, who is an MBA graduate and working in a construction company. About the theme, if anything we get without any pain, the gain will soon leave us. So I would request Toastmaster Dinesh to read about grammarian objective.
Thank you, Generally Evaluated Toastmaster Shankar. A very good afternoon to all Toastmasters and guests. As grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any misuse of the English language, as well as any outstanding uses, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As grammarian, it's my duty to introduce the word of the day. And the word of the day for today's meeting is astute. This meaning is very clever, good at judging people or situation. An example of that word astute used is, for example, a brave soldier, an experienced and an astute general he was. I figured this country deserves a more astute sheriff. This is where the word astute could be used. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day and the theme of the day. I will give the word of the day report and grammatical usage report when called upon by the general evaluator at the end of the meeting. Thank you, and over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh. Before I give the stage to TMOD, one request to all. Since it's an online meeting, please start cheering up the speakers, whoever bid for prepared evaluation or it is a table topic. Please cheer the speaker virtually. Thank you so much, and back to TMOD.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So, our first session is begin right now. To deliver is Toastmaster Raghunath Nair deliver a speech. Is about that. He's working in export and South Asia business at Nissan, trying to improve himself through the Toastmaster for the last 21 years of associations. I would like, so before I call upon Toastmaster Raghunath Nair, I request the evaluator to explain the project details.
Aishwarya.
Toastmaster Aishwarya.
Yes, sir. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. So Toastmaster level project 2 evaluation and feedback speech 1. The purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to the second speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Evaluator. Toastmaster Raghunath Nair and his Malu. Toastmaster Raghunath Nair and his Malu.
A quick, just a second. I just want, okay, just a second. I'll just give me a second. Are you able to hear me properly? Is it okay? Thank you. A quick question to all non-Keralites here. What is the first stereotypical thing that comes to your mind when you hear a word called Mallu?
Lungi and chai.
Lungi and chai?
Kappa.
Ah, okay.
Honam.
Mammootty.
Excellent. To me, the Malayali evokes like many an image when thought of, like because thanks to the cliche portrayals that one come across in all the movies and print. Like it's coming from a state that has unique distinction of being the first in the world to freely elect a communist government and the first in the country to declare 100% literacy. But Malayali presents a ubiquitous blend, that lends generosity for caricatures of various things that comes in, like what the examples what was shared. A very pleasant good afternoon, fellow Medlians and wonderful guest present today. Now, to most of us, what comes to mind might be like, we do eat coconut oil, when we use it for cooking and also applying for our hair, which makes our hair curly, and most of the girls or boys have the curl, except me who gets into bald. And we, as Venkat mentioned, we are all longi clad, and on top of it, we are a highly educated communist who loves fish as much as he loves his alcohol. I'm no different. My friend from Patna, when he felt that the guests are being invited with this coach, is a tradition of Kerala compared to tea or coffee in Chennai. And the language of how we speak. We roll over our tongue like a bag of marbles in a bowl of gelatin. But I'm sure it is very sweet to hear. In fact, communication in Kerala has evolved to such an extent that it is quite possible for two Malayalis to have an entire conversation without saying a single word. You use hand gestures, posturing, or even monosyllabic grunts have found its way today in Malayalam lexicon. Now, with the advent of British Raj, the Malayali was forced to even make peace with the foreign language that came across its shores, from Dutch to various other places. And it was taught all these foreign languages, it was taught in the mother tongue without any change in intonation or punctuation. And which is why you see why Malayali speaks English like a Malayalam. When I came home while working in Bangalore, I preferred Bangalore, moved out from Mumbai, primarily because of the abundance of beer that you get in Bangalore. And the one word question that I get often from my neighbors is only, which means aren't you going? It took me a while to understand that this question, and then later, after a lot of things, I came to know that the question which they have said in that one small word is, am I not going to Gulf? Because my dad was there. So there is a social pressure too of why not in Gulf for every grown-up boy. And in Gulf, there are two types of Malayalis in office, which you see one who is very conscious about the English he speaks and thereby remains silent in most of the discussion. And the other who is exactly opposite. They talk a lot despite of any thing. And both these types, however, have one thing in common. They belong to the same gang that seems to be mysteriously forming in an office that employs more than 3 Malayalis. And the Gulf Malayali has evolved throughout time, which from the Ray-Ban wearing in two-in-one toting, he now brings in a lot of chocolates and definitely the Scotch whiskies. Now it has moved into more of single malts and, from the black label or red label to single malts and monkey shoulders and things like that. And the standard returning, which is the standard returning home on a holiday gives. He longs to return. He longs to return to his hometown, because so that he can trade his pants off for a longi, and it's very smooth. But after a month of being at home, he urges to go back, and that's something which you see very often in any Gulf Malayalis. We are definitely lazy. Okay, I will give you for that. But how would you feel like working if you lived in a place called God's own country? And for sure, now in Kerala, to contrary, there are only old people and people who don't want to work. You'll have to pay even the loading workers even if they have to see, even if we unload the things, we will have to pay them. And now there is a brain drain. But us Malayalis, we have taken a lot of sticks, like usually the Punjabis over the years. Granted, it all and fun, good fun. You know, the IOs and Idli Sambars. IO has already reached the dictionary and waiting for Idli Sambar's nickname. But to be very frank, we don't live on a permanent diet of Idli, Sambar and Dosha. We have, like as Guru said, we have putto and so many other dishes that we have. That has something which, when we go out into the north, they always have a feeling that we always eat in a banana leaf, and the quick question that we have is we also eat banana leaf along with the dish. That's something which we, although it might seem that way, it is not that we only have those bananas and the flora is all consisting of coconut trees. Despite all these funny quirks of genius Malayalis, there are also noble traits setting him apart from. He holds himself in high esteem. The civic sense is unparalleled. And of course, hardworking when he's not hardly working. And of course, a consummate survivor where the amount of liquor which gets consumed is much more. But for sure, a trustworthy friend and a go-to person when the banana chips are down. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghunath Nair. Your culture and the Malayalam about your information is quite impressive. Thank you. So that's all about the prepared speeches. Today we have only one prepared speeches. So the next session is a table topic session. You know that it's quite impressive session. Everyone liked it by that. So today our table topic master is the Toastmaster Dharan. So Toastmaster Dharan is a sports biochemist, biomechanist, and the founder of Dynamic Strength Club. Regarding the theme, no pain, no gain is a magic mantra. I use it to come out of my failure. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our table topic master, Toastmaster Dharan.
Thank you, T.M. Modi, for the nice introduction. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, good afternoon. My name is Dharan, and I'm going to be the TT Master for today's meeting. One of the most exciting portion of the Toastmasters meeting is the table topic session. The main objective is to challenge members to develop their impromptu communication skills, to effectively think on their feet by answering unrehearsed questions. We also want to give member opportunity to speak each meetings. We do this with table topic sessions. Table topics is specifically designed to develop 4 communication skills: listening, thinking, organizing, speaking. Now let's jump into the table topic session. And yes, your response must be at least 1 minute and can be no more than 2 minutes. You will see a green signal after 1 minute, a yellow signal at 1 minute 30 seconds, and a red signal at 2 minutes. I also encourage you to use the word of the day, astute, right? I mean, correct me if my pronunciation is wrong. Astute. Astute, right? So let's get started. I want to share my screen. I hear some noise. I mean, there's some noise. Somebody, Zoom Master, can you take care of it? Yes, now it's clear. Thank you. Just give me 1 second.
TD Master, I have a small request.
Yes, sure.
There is some problem in Zoom. I am not able to edit the polls for table topic and add names. So my request to audience is please hear all the table topic speakers. Then in the chat window, ping me your vote when the TD Master calls for the poll. Please ping me the names of the best TT speaker you feel privately in my chat, not in the comment chat. Sorry for the inconvenience. For some reason, I am not able to edit the post. Thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant Toms. So our first table topic speaker is DTM Thomas.
Yes, sir.
Are you there, sir? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
DTM Thomas, hit the sack, DTM Thomas. Over to you.
Hit the sack, DTM Thomas. It almost sounds like the title that you're announcing for a speech in a ISC contest. I'm flattered. Thank you very, very much. But the sad thing is, rather the interesting thing is, rather the challenging thing is, to hit the sack simply means going to bed. Now, I used to go to bed late and I used to get up late. This practice came when I was in a hostel, the 5 years that were formative years in my life. Those 5 years shaped me. I'm glad that I'm talking to a sports-related person. I enjoyed sports, and 4 hours of sports every day was the high point of my life. I will wait for the class to get over, run, pick up some vada or banana from my canteen, hostel canteen, and run. And as I run, I'll be wearing my, whatever. So what happened was, after 4 hours, somehow have a bath. Then you study or pretend to study if the warden is coming and seeing. But hitting the sack became very easy. I have all my life enjoyed good sleep. And that, I think, is something I'm very, very happy about. I'm very, very privileged to have. One is, when you are tired, your body demands rest. Secondly, I think I've not been a holy man, but I have damaged the least number of people. I have wished ill to hardly, I can't think of. So that also helped me. So I didn't have a burden on my mind or my head, and my body had all the burdens. So when the body is tired and the mind is not under any pressure of guilt or envy or fear, then sleep comes to you early. Thank you very much for reminding me about the bounty life gave me of being able to hit the sack quickly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DTM Thomas. Our next speaker is Toastmaster C. Venkatesan. Toastmaster C. Venkatesan, are you there?
Yes.
Back against the wall. Toastmaster C. Venkatesan. Toastmaster C. Venkatesan, back against the wall.
Yeah, thank you for a nice topic, table topic, Master. Good afternoon, Medlians and distinguished guests. Back when the topic, I related with the cricket, the sports cricket, because the person who is conducting it is a sports biomechanist. I think about the Rahul Dravid. I thought that he is the best player in my era. He played for the Indian team. Last Sunday, I got irritated when I was watching the match between India and Pakistan. I thought that somebody should play there like a Rahul Dravid. He is not only good in his cricket, he is very good administrator in National Cricket Academy. Now he is going to join as the chief selector in Indian team also. He found a lot of IPL players like Prasad Krishan in KKR and other teams also. He only found that Prithvi Shaw, the best opener in India in league matches for Mumbai. Last week, I listened one speech he was giving about Praveen Tomre, the leg spinner. He's talking about that. And then another speech I was listening when he was giving in Brit Pilani, and he was saying that luckily the campus is allowing only to get admission above 75%. But I'm going to deliver my speech. That is why I'm not eligible for my marks. My academic is not so like that. He's straightforward and honest. Even Sarva Ganguly was appreciating about his honesty in the field, as well as whenever he is playing for the team, he will play like a ball, either in test cricket or in one day. I remember even in T20, he played only one T20 against England. He hit 3 sixes consecutively. That is why I think he is not only good at cricket, good administrator. The more I adore his best quality is the way he delivers the speech. From Australia to the last week, he gave a speech about Praveen Tamre in YouTube. I have collected all the informations. He is good at administrator, sports person, and he is able to find out the new players for the Indian team. It is better for Indian cricket. Thank you for a nice topic. Over to the table topic, master.
Thank you, Toastmaster C. Venkatesan. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Sundaresan. Toastmaster Sundaresan, are you there, sir?
Yes, table topic master, I'm here.
Yes, sir. Boil the ocean, Toastmaster Sundaresan. Toastmaster Sundaresan, boil the ocean.
Once, can you repeat the topic, please? I have disturbance.
Boil the ocean.
Spell it the first word.
B-O-I-L. Boil the ocean.
Boil the ocean.
Yes.
Sorry, I don't get it. I have not come across this topic.
Okay.
You are free to invent your own interpretation of the title, Mr. Sundaresan.
Well, the boats are built only for the sail. And it all depends on in our life, the navigation that matters in our life. We cannot stop the tides. And tides are nature. And nature itself is bit calamity when it comes to thunderstorm. And the leadership of the captain shows how he navigates that boat with the passengers safely above the sea and reaches the destination. And all the time we cannot expect the sea to be so calm and quiet. From the learning point of view, the sea has to be rough for the mariner to become the best boatsman or seaman also. When it comes to this life, ups and downs will be there, travel will be there, and how we enjoy that journey, that also matters in our life. So let's continue our journey and let's try our best to continue the journey with us and with the people who are around us with kind words, and let's celebrate humanity. Over to table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster. That was a great try. Next,
could you please tell what's that table topic master? I request you, what is that boil means?
Exactly can you explain after the meeting? Is that okay for you?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Right. Next, I would like to call the guest Jayasudha. Guest Jayasudha, are you there? Ma'am, are you there, ma'am? Guest Jayasudha. Guest Jayasudha. Okay. Next, we'll move on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, I am available, but I'll participate from next week, sir. This session, I'll observe what was happening in this club.
Ma'am, you can give a try, ma'am. It's easy try. I mean, you can give a try.
I'm not that confidence, sir. That's why.
Okay.
And that's why you are in the meeting, madam.
Yes, ma'am, exactly. To try, I mean, to increase.
Okay, sir. Let me try. You give me
Yes,
the topic.
Ma'am. If you only had 1 week left on the earth, what would you do? If you only had 1 week left on earth, what would you do? Guest Jayasudha.
Yes, it's a very interesting topic. I would like to explore a world. I would like to admire nature. I'm a flower lover and I love taking photography of flowers. So first, if I have only 1 week to live, means I will go visit my parents' house, native. I would like to thank my elders who brought up to this level. Sorry, sir. I don't know.
Nice. Keep going. Nice try. Keep going.
I would like to meet my friends. I would like to visit the place I want to. It's my dream to visit Switzerland, the tulip flowers garden, but till now I didn't have the opportunity to go and visit there. I'll pester my husband to take me there before my life gets end. Then I'll visit some falls, rivers. That's it. That's it. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. That was a very good try, ma'am. A big applause to guest Jai Sudha.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Great job, ma'am. Next, I would like to call guest Moinak. Guest Moinak, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. What is something you have tried but would never do again? What is something you tried but you never do again? Guest Moinak.
Thank you, Table Master, for the topic. I have tried a lot of things in my 26 years of journey, the time I'm there in the earth. But some of the one of the most absurd thing I have tried was I tried one food. When I was spending my time in Europe, I tried one octopus soup. That was so. As I have in my past life, I have not tried any exotic foods before. So I thought that when my friend pushed me for that, I tried to have that. And the funny part was I am a vegetarian. I have not taken anything non-veg before, and it was the first time I'm taking something non-veg. I tried in the first 2 bites were good, but after that I started feeling very sick, and I puked and I vomited. And I thought that was one of the worst experiences of trying to take something food. I think if I wanted to try something non-veg, I should have tried of some Indian non-veg foods like chicken or something like that. But that was one of the it was not a very good experience, but yeah, it was memorable. So yeah, thank you. What would you do, Master?
Thank you, guest Moinak. Next, I would like to call Toastmaster Priya. Toastmaster Priya, are you there? Are you there, ma'am?
No.
Toastmaster Priya, are you there, ma'am?
She seems to have
I don't see her in the list. She's not available.
Okay, then. Next, I would like to call Toastmaster Venkateseshan.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yes, sir. Do you see to believe or believe to see? Toastmaster Venkateseshan. Toastmaster Venkateseshan, do you see to believe or believe to see?
Can you please repeat?
Do you see to believe or believe to see? Toastmaster Venkateseshan. Do you see to believe or believe to see?
Yeah, thanks, TT Master. It's a very intriguing question, whether you see to believe or see to believe. So it is always one of the ongoing debate between me and my wife always. Always I try to say that in any relationship, the first step towards the relationship is trust people. Believe them, and then consequently you will be able to see whether they are up to that belief or not. Then you can revise or refine your relationships, either it be with your husband, wife, mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, father-in-law, son-in-law, whatever it is, the relationship. Even the relationship with your boss or with your subordinates. Let's say you have a subordinate joining in your team. The day one, if you are expecting that I need to see how he behaves or delivers his work, and then I would start believing him, so it would be a major debacle of your entire team. It applies to your family as well. So always I believe that first you trust if you want to have the relationship building. Then consequently you will get to know whether that is up to the mark, and you can see opportunities to make that belief stronger. Thank you. Over to you, TT Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkateseshan. Next, I would like to call Toastmaster Sundaram.
Yes, please. Yes.
Round in circles, Toastmaster Sundaram. Toastmaster Sundaram, run around in circles. Toastmaster Sundaram, run around in circles.
Run around the circle. Okay. Dear Toastmaster, about TT Master. It's one of the good topics, run around the circles. Actually, many times we don't understand what we want. If you don't want, naturally you will be running round and round with a circle. That is the thing. That is run around the circles. Yeah, that's right. But the thing is, when you are very clear about what you want to achieve, or what you don't want to do, then naturally you should go into the tangent and get out of the circle. Getting out of the circle is really very, very difficult job. It is not so easy. When we are actually in a particular job or particular thing, suppose even if you don't like, you run around the circle within for years together. But many times we don't enjoy. At the time, you are supposed to think a bit loud about what you want, and then just move to the tangent and run away to the other circle, or away from the particular circle. That is what is required. Then you may enjoy the life very well. That's what it seems. And moreover, what is your expectations in life? That also depends. If your expectations is very limited, or you don't even imagine what you want to become, then naturally you may be running around the circles only. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sundaram. Next, I would like to call Toastmaster Saranya.
No, she is not available.
Can I call Toastmaster Karthikeyan?
Yes, Toastmaster.
Toastmaster Karthikeyan. Is the reward worth the risk? Toastmaster Karthikeyan. Toastmaster Karthikeyan, is the reward worth the risk?
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Dharan. It's a fantastic topic. Actually, all the rewards, if you are put, it's my life, what I did, everything I can say, my practical life. I can take all the time, I can take the risk and get the reward so many times. I have before I'm working in a database admin, I have to get the profit, I have to get the risk, low risk, I get the salary also very low. Now I have to move on the second platform, which is a security domain, which is a cyber security domain. I move to cyber security domain. It's a thing, everybody say it is not very easy. You are not studying very difficult. You have the more potential. You need to spend the more time. My friends, everybody said that, but I can take risk because I have the soft worker, a bit hard worker. I can take the risk. I get the reward, and my salary also triple after for 8 or 9 months, I can get the salary also triple. Because of that, I take the risk, I get the reward. And the second thing, same like that, I have studied the engineering life. I have my potential and my friend circle, everything. I can take any risk, and I have the in challenging work in my life environment. I can take any risk. You can give me the more and more tasks. Speak to the client, how they completed all the tasks. Everyone said, hey, don't give the more stress to client because it's not easy how to not complete. No, it's possible. But I can do that. I can get the good reward to client also. This is my life. If I take the risk, you can get the reward 100%. Over to you,
Thank you, Toastmaster Karthikeyan. Next, can I call Toastmaster DTM Guru Prasad? Sir, are you there, sir? Keep an ear to the ground. DTM Guru Prasad, keep an ear to the ground.
Thank you very much, Table Topic Master. I was basically an inspection engineer when I was working in Chennai Petroleum Corporation before my current job. So my job always used to walk around the whole refinery and watch if every equipment is working perfectly or not. One of the simplest way we do is by listening to those equipment. My boss and a mentor who used to tell me, you go. If you go with the right intent, your machine will talk back to you. One of the smallest techniques he taught us was, most of the times your machine's issue would be understood by observing its vibration. How do you observe vibration? So he used to teach us, keep your thumb like this, keep your fist on the equipment and listen. Every day you keep on listening, one day you will find that that murmuring of the equipment is slightly different. If you are so aligned with your machine, it will talk back to you. Though I did not have the exact experience of listening to the ground, however, I had the experience of listening to the machines and their vibrations. But going back to my childhood days, the only place where we used to listen to the ground, that again not exactly on the ground, is there was a railway track before our school. So during lunch hours, we go to the railway station, and exactly 5 minutes before our school starts, a train would come. So somebody told us that if you keep your ears on the track, you can feel the train traveling kilometers away. We used to take some funny moments to listen. So my listening to the ground started with the railway track and survived, and became my profession in listening to the machines and their vibrations. I really enjoy listening to the sound in whatever form they come to me. Over to table topic.
Thank you, DTM Guru Prasad. Next, I would like to call Toastmaster Ranga.
Yes, please go ahead.
Scrap the barrel, Toastmaster Ranga. Toastmaster Ranga, scrap the barrel.
Scrape or scrap? SCRAPE?
Yeah, SCRAPE.
Yeah. It's funny that you say this because during my school days, so we had to take tiffin boxes from home. So, and normally we used to share it with friends. But if the food is really tasty, we will scrape it to the bottom, we will take it to the last morsel. And invariably, my mother used to pack only curd rice for me. So curd rice with some pickles. And sometimes it used to be so tasty. At times during summer, it will become sour. But still, I like that sour taste. And we used to just swipe the tiffin box to its last morsel. That has been my experience. But in life, what we used to do is we never used to waste things. We will try to reuse them, whether it is clothes or any books. So especially books and the clothes, it has always been hand-me-down. Especially if you have an younger brother, you will take immense pleasure in handing it out to him and wait for him to tear it to throw before we throw it away. So it has always been a nature in our home that we used to reuse and scrape things to the bottom till it is finally no longer usable. Over to you, TT Master. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I call Zakir Amir, Toastmaster Zakir Amir?
Speaking.
Yeah. The best way of learning leadership skills. Toastmaster Zakir Amir, the best way of learning leadership skills.
Yeah. Good evening all. Thank you, TT Master, for giving in a program. Best ways of learning leadership skills. Today, people want to do an astute things because many ways we are living our leadership skills. So the best way to learn the leadership skill is to be with the team, understand them, perform with them, and inspire them. A leadership skill will be more when you are with the team or with the players or with the people with whom you want to experience. And first, be humble. Try to understand situation. Try to understand people. That is the best way I think a leader can exhibit his skills as a leader. What I personally feel here, whenever a person wants to
get into a leader's, he thinks only command, but he has to have the very important skill of listening, understanding the people's way, and understanding the people's will and situation, ground situation. All these three things makes a people to make him a better leader. The way things may go average, but right, how to get the astute way to find it out in the right way. So that way, I think being on the ground, giving an ear to the ground and making things right and being with the situation, living in the situation will make you the better leader. And these skills can be learned only when you are in the field, when you are in the tumble or you are in the ocean. Let's not boil the ocean. Let's set right directions by learning these skills. Thank you.
Thank you, Zakir Amir. Next, can I call the keynote speaker, education speaker, Brilliant SK for the TT session?
Hi, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible. Cut corners. Cut corners. Brilliant cut corners.
Thank you, Karan. Often in life, we are faced with a situation where we have to make a choice between what is right and what looks right. What do? Do you cut corners or you decide to take the right way? I remember way back when I took my charge as the district director, I had a choice to make, to be right or to be popular. Being popular meant that I would have to cut corners and please everyone. And as Zakir rightly said a few minutes ago, we need to be on the ground. We need to realize why we are leaders. We need to be there for the people. And if you start cutting corners, you realize that you're compromising on ethics, which violates the core value of integrity that we hold very high at Toastmasters. Whether you're a leader, a follower, or any human being who doesn't fall into any categorization, as long as you're able to stand up for what's right and not fall into the trap of being popular, you will never need to cut corners. And if you don't cut corners in the long run, as in Hindi it says, you will be a lambi race ka ghoda, a horse for the long race. Thank you for having me over. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Brilliant. Can I call guest Swati Devi? Swati Devi, ma'am, are you there? Swati Devi. Guest Swati Devi.
Hello.
Hi, I'm here.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Are you ready for the TT topic, TT session, ma'am?
Yeah, sure.
Super. That's great. What is ethically wrong in copying others' ideas? Guest Swati Devi. What is ethically wrong in copying others' ideas? Guest Swati Devi.
Thanks for the topic master. I don't see anything ethically wrong in copying others' idea. I would rather say inspiring by others' idea. Maybe that's the right way to tell it. So we did not invite that we have to sleep for 8 hours. We did not invite that we have to eat for 3 times a day, right? We copied everything from others, whatever our parents followed. So everything we do in life, going to school at the age of 3, and having the food at the right time, and everything starting from morning till night, everything we do is copied or inspired by others. I don't really think there is nothing wrong in copying others. And if I have to tell you this in a detailed way, let's take an example of driving and cycle. So that's the first thing every child have learned, right? If in case if somebody have told everybody rides a cycle, why should I copy them? We would have never ended up learning cycling or driving a bike, car, right? There is nothing wrong at all in doing what others do, because that we have to do existing things to do something in excellence. We have to learn what others know first. We have to learn what the world already asks for us before we invite something new. And only when we learn the existing things, we will know the requirement for the future as well. So that is the starting point for us to find it or invite new things as well. So I think we have to get inspired by whatever others are doing, and let's start to do that so that we know what we need more in our life. Over to you, Toastmaster. Tabletop.
Thank you, guest Swati.
Thank
Next,
you,
can I?
Dharan. No, thank you, Dharan. Since our education speaker is here, I would like to take over. Thank you for
Thank
the
you.
wonderful. Thank you for the wonderful
Over
session.
to you, President.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Dharan. It was an excellent TT session.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to now introduce the guest for today.
Mr. President, if you allow me.
Yeah.
With your permission, I'd like to show the list of names and get the votes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Timer, please read out the qualified table topic speakers.
I'll be sharing my screen now. Give me a minute.
Okay, so Toastmaster Dharan, all are qualified. So no time disqualification with respect to TT.
Great. That's
So,
great.
are you able to hear me?
Yes, you're audible.
So please select in the chat window, select S at A Guru Prasad Padmanabhan. There are two Guru Prasad Padmanabhans in the chat window. Select named as S at A, Sergeant at Arms Guru Prasad Padmanabhan. Please send your votes on the best table topic speaker. Please use your astute observation and share the best name to me personally, privately at S at A Guru Prasad Padmanabhan. Thank you.
Thank you. Timer, can you send all those qualified speaker in the chat so that people can easily copy and paste to to the DTM? Yeah, thank you. That's great.
I'm displaying it on the screen. I hope you are able to see.
Super. That's great. Members, please select the best table topic speaker and privately send it to DTM Guru Prasad. Thank you. Over to you, President Toastmaster Ranga.
Sorry about that, DTM Brilliant, for the break. Now, to introduce our guest today, DTM Brilliant, he is the past Region 13 advisor, and he was ranked number 9 in the world's top 10 Toastmaster district leaders for 2015-2016. He describes himself as a learner, keynoter, coach, observer, aspiring podcaster, and experience collector. Here's DTM Brilliant with a speech on service and leadership from the leadership series. His topic for today is serve, share, and grow. Serve, share, and grow. DTM Brilliant.
Thank you. Thank you so much. A quick confirmation if you're able to see my screen. Is my screen visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Medley, for having me over. And apologies, I got into something which was completely unplanned. I never realized there was a deadline for one of the exams that I had to take. And I just got to know yesterday. So I said, why not hit 2 birds, go finish
Sir, could not hear, sir, anything.
Yeah, we're not able
be
to.
it as a club officer. Hello?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
You are able to hear me?
Yes.
Is it clear?
We lost you from
Hello?
when you said 2 birds with 1 stone. From there, we lost you. Thank you.
Yeah, where did you lose me, please?
2 birds with 1 stone.
Right. So I decided to first finish off my exam, and I thought I'll probably get the venue and I can complete the session from there. but I realized that the venue was not available. So I had to send a message, an SOS to Ranga and to Thomas, indicating that I'll be slightly delayed. Thank you for accommodating. We are all volunteers and we all serve the interest of members, either as a club leader, a district leader, or the various roles that we take during this journey. This session today is an experience sharing as well as bringing in some elements from real life that I believe can help all of us to become better from where we are today. Leadership and service go a long way. And I don't need to tell you this, but the fact is, a leader is truly the one who doesn't make others feel that they were led. And Lao Tzu has rightly said it. It is when people feel that they did it themselves. And that's the beauty about leadership, and especially when it comes to service leadership or servant leadership, as we call it. I'm consciously not using the word servant because it brings in a different mentality to many of us. We have been used to listening to the word servant leadership, but I would like to call it as service leadership. And we also know the other extreme, which is when leadership is a barter. I'm sure you know about some of these. When a leadership position or a person in the authority of leadership tends to barter something in exchange of providing services, that is when it becomes toxic. Some examples that will tell you how they instigate people, how they incite them to action. Now look at this guy, very popular at one point of time, but was he right? I don't need to ask anyone to get the answer. Look at Idi Amin. Look at Trump. Now, if you analyze the kind of influence that they had, it was restricted to certain people. And then there are the others who exert an influence across levels. People hate both types, right? There are people who would hate a service leader and people who would hate a trader leader. But for me, what makes the difference is the leader inspiring, or is he or she instigating? Is he or she inciting people to action that is not popular? Something that can be violent, something that can be not normal, something that instills fear in people. We've always heard about how leaders instill fear, be it your corporate life, be it at Toastmasters. We have experienced these people. I don't want to take names, but just reflect and you will find at least one person you know who may have either all or some of these characteristics. They look to be successful in some sense. However, this is short-lived. In the long run, this will not help. As they say, sooner or later, they all fall down. The more you are towards service orientation, the better your chances are for survival. Initially, it looks tough. Initially, it is painful. Initially, it is slow. But once you get that momentum, it becomes natural. It becomes a habit for you to serve people. Whereas, remove the position from the people who are traders and see what happens. They become fidgety. They become frustrated. They feel out of their comfort zone and they start doing things which make them completely unpopular and in the end lead to their fall. I'm sure those who are young like me would have seen Javed Jafri in that advertisement which says, "This sauce is different, boss." So if I were to classify leadership, I would classify broadly it into two. One is the bigger bottle, which is self-serving leadership, and a smaller bottle, which is selfless. And if you see, just like the sauce, there are people who may go for the big sauce or the small bottle. Some of them like it spicy, some of them like it tangy. It doesn't matter. But let's analyze this. When I think of self-serving leader, what is it that makes them different from the others? Self-serving leaders say, serve me first. They want you to understand them. And then I'll understand you if I have the time. These leaders always treat the others as inferior or lower than their level. As they say, they don't want to see people eye to eye. They look down upon people. There is a reason why the term looking down has come up. And the best aspect of Toastmasters, we all know, is feedback. However, self-serving leaders reject feedback. They don't want any opinion about how they are doing. They just want to hear what is good. Unlike me, who loves cash, self-serving leaders love to take credit. They want credit for everything. What Ranga did, I'll take credit for it. What Abraham did, I'll take credit for it. What Zakir did, I'll take credit for it. Why? Because I'm their leader. Self-serving leadership is all about power, position. The moment you take that away, everything falls. And as I said, they become fidgety. They become flustered. They feel out of place. They feel, oh, what do I do now? And then there is the small bottle, chota bottle, bada maza. The selfless leaders. Zakir, I remember your table topic. You said you need to be on the ground. You need to serve people. Look at people at the eye level. Recently, I don't know how many of you got it, but there was a viral WhatsApp forward on the Royals in London, where they saw, where they showed how Princess Diana would go down to people's level, talk to them eye to eye. Being grounded is one of the biggest, I would say, qualities that a selfless leader would have. Zakir, again, I mention you because that's the time when I could capture some of the words that you said. Understand first why people are with you. Understand what is their requirement. Respect them. Respect every single person for who they are. And most important, Swati, I am taking what you said and extending it. Copying others' ideas is not ethically wrong. I fully agree. But I would take it to one level up and say, copy, but give credit. I can use something which Thomas said, Ranga said, Zakir said, but I need to give credit. I cannot pass it off as my own. And a selfless leader ensures that they give credit. And that makes the world of a difference. Now just imagine you're sitting in a keynote session and suddenly you realize, Ayla, ये तो मैंने last meeting में मेरे speech में बोला था. This is what I said in my last meeting. And the speaker is not even giving me credit. What happens to the credibility of the leader? It drops. And the most important, selfless leader has one single agenda, developing others. They develop more leaders who are like them. And that helps. It is said that the ecosystem develops based on the seed. If the seed is good, the fruit, the plant, the flower, whatever it gives out will definitely be the best. Now, unfortunately, we always have been assuming that selfless leaders are at the ground level because they are always carrying people up. They are looking at their teams. They are making sure that the teams have to succeed. It's all about what they believe, what they think, what they do, and the outcomes. The best part about it, as they say, is you can be a better leader. B-E-T-A-R. The spelling is slightly different. Your belief should be welcoming. Your thoughts should be open. Your actions should be aligned towards serving. And the outcomes is uplifting and developing people. Let me tell you, studies and research have proven that servant leadership leads to the highest level of engagement. Think about it. It leads to highest level of motivated followers. You finish your term as a club officer, but people still come back and say, hey, Ranga, you know what? I am stuck here. I need help. You have no position, but still people know what you have done for others. Your belief, thoughts, actions, and the outcomes have made me realize that you are the one who I can go to each time I need support. Way back, this concept of servant leadership was conceptualized by Robert Greenleaf. It's a good book to read, a theory about what it is. But the fact is, selfless leadership is all about serving, serving, serving. And if you can serve selflessly, keeping people at the core, organizations, people, and you yourself will grow beyond what you can even imagine. And as they say, bada hai to behtar hai. The more you serve, the better you become. Don't limit yourself to serving as a leader only when you have the title. Continue serving. Continue making sure that you are making a difference in the lives of people. You are doing things so that you align to what the member needs. And don't just restrict it to your Toastmasters program. Take it outside. Take it to a level where you can see the difference at your workplace. Some of the elements that we learn at Toastmasters, I don't know how many of you are practicing, but all the 10 qualities that you need to be a selfless leader is available at Toastmasters if you're willing to learn. Think about it, listening. Do we not have listening skills? At Toastmasters, listening is one of the most valued skill, be it as an evaluator, be it the accounter, the grammarian. You think about roles, we are helping people become better listeners. Better listening skills is all about giving full attention. Just imagine, don't take it big, but think about the R counter. The R counter needs to enjoy the speech, at the same time say, oh, Brilliant had 2 long pauses, 3 R's, 2 ums. He is multitasking, but at the same time, he or she doesn't avoid interrupting. Let me finish what I want to, and then provide the feedback. Think about what needs to be done. If you are looking at leadership, it's all about persuasion. They don't put pressure. They persuade with power. They use it rather than use their title or their authority. They encourage people to take action. They look at creating a consensus. If you look at how even the program functions, it's all about majority, right? It's not about saying one person says and that's how it is. In many organizations, which are so-called not-for-profits, it's always the leader who drives it. But at Toastmasters, we experience it, that we bring it to the ExCom and then we bring it to the members as well. And that's the beauty. We get these in small doses. The only thing is, how much do we apply? Now, this is a new concept for many of us. Why do you think healing is important? Do you even think healing is important? I would say yes. Look at what's happened to all of us, right? We were so comfortable meeting in person, and suddenly the pandemic threw us into a situation where I don't know what's happening. Had it not been for that inclusiveness of healing, making sure that my people have the right kind of knowledge, making sure that they are, technically speaking, well fit into emotional health, that I go ahead. The pandemic made us realize that being in the virtual world can put us into a lot of stress. I know of so many people who have defied getting into online mode because they are not used to technology. They feel they would be not doing as well as they should. As a leader, it's important for me to make sure that you create a sense of healing, bring them towards a wellness in terms of emotional connect, and then take them to the next level. It's also about building community. I'm sure many of us don't realize, but we have become a community with people who are like-minded. Opportunities to interact, opportunities to move across zones today, right? I can sit at my home in the comfort of the chair that I'm so happy to have, relax, and enjoy meetings everywhere. This can be extended to your workplace as well. Try to bring in people, bring about a sense, a force of building a community. As a service leader, as a servant leader, as they call, building community should be amongst the top priority. You're not just talking about your 1-year term. You're talking about Medley as a community of members who help each other and be there for each other when they need the most. I don't need to say it. We have heard it time and again in every single session. It's not about the sympathy, but the empathy that helps leaders to move ahead. Service leadership is based on empathy. We need to be empathetic in every single aspect. Today, I knew I was in a tight spot. I reached out to Ranga, I reached out to Thomas, and I told them this is the situation, and they were accommodative. They could fit themselves into my shoes, and I still remember a message which says, "Don't hurry, it's okay." They understood me, right? There are some instances where people say, "No, this is it. I am rigid." For a moment, putting aside your viewpoint, putting aside everything else, and understanding the other person's perspective and approaching situations with an open mind is what empathy is all about. And today I can tell you, I could see that in the club when I reached out and said, "Can we extend the session from 3:15 to 4 o'clock because I'm stuck with something else?" And like all good leaders, servant leaders is always committed to growth. And growth doesn't mean individual growth. It means growth for you, growth for the organization, everyone. Development is one of the key areas that we should be focusing on as leaders who are serving. Let's pause here and think about conceptualization. I'm sure we would have heard about what conceptualization is. But why should a service leader or a servant leader worry about conceptualization? As a leader, you are given a responsibility to pass on a vision to the members and dream together to build what is reality today. Think beyond what it is. Look at the big picture. If I have to become, let's say, a Medley distinguished district, can the district leaders do it alone? The answer is no. They need to get back to the divisions, divisions to the areas, areas to the clubs, and clubs to the members. They need to understand what is the shared vision that we are looking at. Make everything as crystal clear as possible so that a new member understands why his achieving an educational goal is important to the club and how it impacts the journey upwards. This also helps us develop a long-term focus. And this keeps me motivated. If I don't know why I'm running, I will not want to run. I'll say, I'm more than happy staying here. I don't want to do anything else. And please, there's something called as foresight. I don't want to get into the details, but think about it. We all think about what happened in hindsight, but foresight is also important. Learning from the past and extrapolating it for the future. There are multiple tools available. We use it at Toastmasters. Some of us just ignore it because we say we don't have the time. But please, this is important. You need to understand how it will impact the future. And if you're able to do it as a service leader, as a servant leader, nothing can beat it. Have you heard of a concept called self-awareness? I'm sure yes. It all begins with me. Today, I had an exam to give for a coaching certification. And one of the things which stands out in it is start with you. Start understanding who you are, how you behave, why you behave, and then you start understanding why these interactions are working or not working. Know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and please, please, please use the forum of feedback effectively. Sometimes people are too comfortable to share feedback. They say, oh, everything went well. And trust me when I say this, no person in this world is perfect. And one of the biggest rooms that is available is the room for improvement. If we get the right feedback, if we reach out to people and say, please help me become better, I'm sure they would be more than happy. And that is what I want all of us to be looking at, getting more feedback. How does my X behavior affect you as a member? What can I do to improve? Yes, there will be sometimes outliers. Ignore them. Understand what is the essence, what is the majority that is talking, and work on it. And last but not the least, one of the key areas which is a beautiful quality for a selfless leader is stewardship. taking responsibility for everything that you do. I cannot blame Venkat and say, Venkat, you're not focusing, you're just noting down the A's and noons. It is his responsibility. If I fail, I need to understand it's a failure because I couldn't do it well. It doesn't matter whether there is a title given to you, irrespective of what. Even if it's a small portion of the meeting which you're leading as a table topics master, as a general evaluator, as a Toastmaster of the day, you're a leader for that time. Make sure it counts. When we think of developing, what comes to your mind? Just look at this beautiful flower in a dry land. This is a post which has gone viral. This is a Photoshop picture for sure. But we have seen many instances. And I can tell you, if you go out in the garden, if you have a garden and have the chance to reach to a garden, you will see some instances like this. Even when plants have died, if there is some soil and there is a seed that falls in, small plantains blossom. Why? Because there is an environment which is supportive. There is sunlight that is there always, and there is a foundation. And at Toastmasters, I want to tell you, everything that a service or a servant leadership needs is a supportive environment. Go back to our mission. Go back to our mission of Toastmasters and read some of the keywords. Supportive environment, positive experience, growth, everything is here. We have facility for coaching. We have facility for mentoring. And it is all based on guidance. It is not in the face. It is given to you so that you can leverage all of these to develop yourselves as a leader, and at the same time, make sure you create the environment where people like you or others who are completely different from you can still be a leader like you. We've all heard the song like ta, 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 walk like an Egyptian. What's famous in the Egypt other than the Egyptian song?
Pyramids.
Pyramids. And we all say that it's amongst the 7 wonders of the world, right? And for leadership also there is a pyramid. And that pyramid is what we call as a typical leadership, which starts with what the leader says and then it is drilled down across. So it all starts with a top-down approach. It's all control-driven. In organizations like the military, there is a need for it to be top-down. Military cannot be democratic, right? Then imagine what would happen to all the wars that we fought and how the outcomes would have been. And let's be practical. Service leadership, servant leadership need not be used in areas where you should not. There are instances where you may need to do activities which may not look like a service leader. It brings us to another aspect which is called as situational leadership, but we will not get into it. But please be aware that as a leader, I can change the styles based on the requirement. If there is a need, because if it impacts someone's life, if it impacts a business, if it impacts families, I'll take decisions differently. Because end of the day, it's about the family, it's about people. But at the same time, if I look at military, it's a different approach altogether. Oops, okay. Sorry. We'll just try to pull it back. Please confirm once you're able to see my screen. Yeah, thank you. And then comes the bottoms-up approach, which is all about empowerment. It starts with the focus on the member and then on to the others. And that is what service or servant leadership is all about. Empowering people, making sure that they understand that they have a stake in what is happening. Think about everything that we do at Toastmasters and you will remember that, yes, this is true. We all love mythology, but the fact is, myths are dangerous. Some myths about service leadership or servant leadership is they are weak. they have low level of achievement and they fail a lot. But I want to ask you a question. Are you looking short term or are you thinking long term? It is interpreted that when we think of the word, why I said I am talking about service leadership and not servant leadership, is when we think of servant, what it means, someone gives an order and they keep serving. Right? It's got a negative connotation in the way we've been brought up. And that's why I use service instead of servant. Does that impact? Yes. And that is probably one of the reasons why it is assumed that they are weak. They don't react randomly, right? If you look at servant leaders or service leaders or focused on service, they don't randomly respond. They anticipate, they think, they put everything that is there, and then they take action. It is a slow process. As I said, it takes time to reach there. Instead of reacting, if someone slaps, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi said, give your second cheek. And then we saw Munna Bhai DS and said, I showed him my second cheek and he hit me. And then I started bashing him. And when I asked why, he said, I was never told what happens when the person hits you on the second cheek. So we tend to respond according to the stimulus that we have. But service leaders end up making sure that the commitment that they have is achieved by creating a sense which is looking slow, but they are not weak. It's only that they have more perseverance. We have been told that servant leaders have low level of achievement or low standards because they don't take risks. But think about it. They set clear expectations. They provide timely and constructive feedback. They make sure that there is a bond between the followers or the members and the leader. They provide coaching and support so that people can grow. They recognize and reward. They give credit where it is due. And last but not the least, the aspect that makes a big difference is the fact that it is assumed that servant leaders fail. They don't. It's only that it takes time. We are used to 2 minutes coffee, instant noodles, and that's why we are in a hurry. But service leadership takes time. And if you want to be a successful and effective service leader, I would say be a good storyteller. You don't need to hard sell. People should automatically buy in. It's a style of influencing. You can collaborate to create a great story. I know the audience that I want to enchant, I want to engage, and I work together. I need to ask myself a question. Why would someone listen to me? Why would they spend their time for this? What is the edge that I bring? And to be a good storyteller and to engage people with service leadership, understand the whys, the whats, the whos, the hows, and match your experience to give them the best. We all know that leading by example is great. These are some of the leaders that I believe. Again, it's a personal choice. There are many more. I could throw this forum open and I may get 100 more names. But look at the people, Abraham Lincoln, Dalai Lama, the Uruguay president, the past president of India, APJ, Lal Bahadur Shastri, the past prime minister, Mother Teresa. I don't need to tell you why they are servant leaders and why they are good, why they have been at the helm of where they were. It's because of their humility, the service that they have given. There are thousands of examples, and I'm sure one day I'll find your name in this. And that's the day I'll feel proud about saying, oh, wow, you know what? I know this person, and in my next presentation, your name would be there along with your photo. There are pros and cons, we all know, right? Pros, it's all about people. It's about telling how it is done. It's about the impact and stability, especially during change. Cons, it is difficult to communicate. Why does it take so much time? It requires authenticity. You need to trust me blindly. I need to align with the values that you bring in. And if it's a short-term thing, it is impossible to fully realize. We are all volunteers. We are unpaid. We work on goodwill. We are here to make a difference. And we are here to take care of needs of the members. And we are here to serve. We can extend it anywhere. All that is required is a shift, a move from control to coaching, a move to invert the pyramid to say it's not about the leader, but the member. Move to say it's about the service and not about the title. And move to think beyond and putting our hearts into it. Meet JP. JP is one of the best servant leaders that I have encountered in my Toastmasters journey. A soft-spoken person, about 5 feet in height, never raises his voice. He just needs to know what is to be done. He will make sure that it gets done without hurting anyone, without breaking any policies, any protocols, and making sure that you get what he had promised. So dear friends, it's not about what we can do. It's about how we can influence and make a difference in people's life. When you get back to the drawing boards, when you get back to thinking on how you want to create an influence in your community as a leader, start thinking about these aspects and make sure that you become a leader who can serve, share, and grow. Not just yourself, but the organization, the members, and everyone who come in contact with you. Thank you so much for having me over. I would now formally like to pass back control to Toastmaster Ranga, the presiding officer.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The applause, most of us are muted, but the applause sounds very long and hard. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
What an engaging session. You had beautifully brought out the difference between self-serving leaders and selfless leaders. The selfless leaders serving people to the core. And servant leadership leads to growth. Wonderfully articulated. Thank you so much. I will now open the floor for some questions, if any. Is that okay?
Perfectly fine, as long as we have some time.
Thank you. Questions? Yeah. Thomas, you're on mute.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, thank you very, very much, DTM. Brilliant, because you juggle two fields that are so very diametrically opposite: the for-profit line and the for self-development voluntary line. And you did that because very few can do it, because as a top people manager on one side and as someone who has roamed the top echelons of Toastmasters, I'm glad we got you. So thank you, first of all, for that. You gave us some time, though, competing with your examination. It would look as if, from what you say, that the Toastmasters model of leadership is the more refined, the more higher order kind of leadership. It's almost like, I would say, since you talked about Gandhi, let me put somebody on this side and the other side, from Hitler to Gandhi to Dhoni. I think that's the kind of transition I find in Toastmasters.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. So I just wanted to check this out with you. So I find this as a higher level of leadership, though without designations, etc. And a great learning for us as officials, club officials and district officials, to do the bidding of the members.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Bang on, Thomas. And I would just like to add, if you look at how we have grown as an organization, go back to 1901, when that thought came and Dr. Ralph Smedley decided to make a change in the lives of people. That could have been just one-off incidents and said, okay, I'll do this and forget. We all engage in many activities and we just forget about it. But have we ever thought of extending it so that it can benefit the masses today? 140 plus countries we are present, more than 3 lakh members. And it's an amazing thing. I've been in this journey for 12 plus years. I just completed my 5th DTM. I am learning. Each engagement for me is a new learning. I'll take back something from here. I loved what Zakir said and what Swati, if I remember correct, said about this topic that they had, and I could instantly bring it into my session. And that's a learning. That's something I learned at Toastmasters. Had it not been for Toastmasters, I would have not probably got an opportunity to do it. Thank you so much for that.
Yes, Venkat, you can go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Mr. Berlin, it was a really intriguing session, and you very well brought up the servant leadership and emotional intelligence into it. And the most interesting part is how you tied storytelling into it. So far, many people, means we see it as two different things. But most of the times when we talk about storytelling, the people talk that, okay, I don't have that much of experience, what I could bring as a storytelling. So there, you said that you're really brought out, it's more a collective work. You cannot go and talk just based on your experience. It is the collective experience that you could sell. So that was the one important thing that I would take it as a takeaway. The point which I wanted to bring up is in a voluntary organization like us, or even in our professional organization, any servant leader, you brought this up, this point, they undergo a lot of criticism because you give independence to people, your team and your other stakeholders as well, that they have a voice to opinion. So how it is possible to identify which criticism I should take up, which I should like filter it out, and that takes away a lot of energy and the motivation out of the servant leaders.
Thank you, Venkatesh. That's a fantastic question, and good you asked this. So here's what I want to give you as a reflection point. If it's a criticism, never take it. If it's a critique, do take it. I need to make sure that whatever I'm saying is not based on my personal equation with you. If I'm sharing something because of what you are. So for example, people say, oh, you use your hand gestures a lot, and that's not good. I cannot really control it, right? But if you tell me that my content was 0 and this is what you need to improve on, that is a critique, which gives me areas for improvement. Every time you get feedback, and I encourage all of you, especially evaluators, is when you provide feedback, provide a suggestion of how it can be improved. Don't just tell me that this is not working. Tell me how it could improve so that I can take it back. I remember I have done the traditional manual since I was a member, and every speech I would get feedback slips. We used to have the slips where people say what worked, what did not work, any areas for improvement. And there would be some outliers. As I said, you need to keep the outliers away. But look at what is the trend. What is it that is coming out consistently? And use it. At organizations, when you're working, it is difficult for you to sustain your service leadership style. And that is where you move into the situational leadership angle, where you say, my core style is service, but I will be a control leader because I need to get it done because it impacts my revenues. That doesn't mean you need to hurt people. That doesn't mean you need to do wrong. That doesn't mean you don't need to respect individuals. As long as the feedback is given respecting individuals, I think we as leaders or even as members without titles, take it, accept it, look at how we can implement and move forward. But if it is only to say, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, then I think that is an area where we should question them further. Some of them are not really in the mood of giving feedback. They just want to criticize. So say, okay, so let's say hypothetically, don't feel offended. Venkatesh gave me a feedback and I said, okay, Venkatesh, tell me, how do you think I can improve? Now I have put the ball in his court, right? So he has to tell me he did not like. I'm open as a leader. I'm showcasing that I'm welcome to accept feedback. That makes Venkatesh think and probably suggest something. And next time when he talks to me, he knows for sure that I'll ask him a question. So his responses will change. Criticism is unavoidable in any leadership situation. As I said, whether you're a servant leader or a trader leader, as I call them, you will get criticized. But how you manage those critics, how do you manage them? Today in the social media, you get trolled. You get trolled. But how effectively you use trolling is what makes you stand out in the entire chunk. So make sure that you avoid criticism totally by saying, okay, Tell me, Venkat, how do I improve? And suddenly you're like, okay. And when you give me inputs, I'll say, let me see how I can incorporate it. What I'm doing is I'm building a bridge to connect with.
Thanks. I think I should have had this session or discussion earlier today, before this session. Thanks.
Any other questions from members, guests?
Sir, is it possible to share the PowerPoint slide?
Absolutely, don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, DTM Brilliant. That was an excellent session, and Medley is honored. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I hand over the controls back to our TMOD, TM Mohanasundaram.
Thank you, presiding officer. So far, we have completed 2 sessions successfully. To wrap up the evaluation sessions, I will call upon the Toastmaster Shankar.
Thank you, TMOD. So now we are one of the critical segments in Toastmaster meeting, that is giving a constructive feedback to the prepared speaker. Today, we all know that Raghunath Nair has delivered a wonderful speech today. Let us see what is their best and what can be improved further to beyond their level. So today, the first speech will be evaluated by the person who is from Pearl City of India, graduated from Tyagaraja College of Engineering, currently working in AstraZeneca India Private Limited. We all know that that company was talk of the town a few months ago. About theme, if you are not ready to take pain or risk for something, then you will not much fruitful result or gain. Please put your hands together virtually and welcome Toastmaster Aishwarya Lakshmi to evaluate Toastmaster Raghunath's speech. Over to you, Aishwarya.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Today we had Toastmaster Raghunath Nair who delivered his speech. The purpose, as we all know, is to present any speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. Now, how did he do it? So excellent speech given by him, a big round of applause. Then he shared so many funny things about Malayali's lifestyle. He started his speech by asking questions. This is a very good way of starting the speech. He triggered attention of everyone and made it more interactive. So it's a very good start. And then he already possesses vocal variety and hand gestures. Of course, he excelled at using tone, speed, and volume. Since it is a humorous speech, I have to look for how he incorporated humor into his speech. So he included humor in an effective manner. He told so many funny things about genius and acute Malayalis, which was very interesting and awesome. He spoke about Malayalis' body language, then food style and communication, and we can clearly see that how smoothly he delivered his speech from introduction to conclusion. So my recommendations will be he could have incorporated some more humor into his speech. He spoke about 2 types of Gulf Malayalis. One who is very conscious in his English communication, and the other is just opposite, who talk a lot despite of any. He also told about the English communication of Malayalis will be in Malayalam slang. So he could have showed one funny example conversation between those 2 Gulf Malayalis, like performing a mono act. So this will enhance much more humor into the speech. Then the second one is when you crack a joke, you could have allowed the audience the time to laugh and soak in humor. Then the third one is you could have had some more facial expressions in your speech delivery. Then the speech will be super awesome. So overall, the flow of the speech and humor was excellent. Your speech was well scripted and patiently delivered. Like I said, if you could have added some more humor and facial expressions, that will be super fabulous and fantastic. All the very best, Raghunath Nair. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you for your astute feedback, Aishwarya. So moving on to one of the critical report, it is the TAG report. So I would request Jay to share the timer report, please.
Am I audible? Toastmaster. Yep. Okay. So today we had a wonderful, fantastic sessions, and then I think it was an awesome day. So let me go the timer report. So the prepared speaker Raghunath Nair took 7 minutes 37 seconds, which is a bit above the limit. Me took two. Sorry.
Yeah, please go on. I said.
Yeah, took 2 minutes 17 seconds, so which is within the limit. And we have a good number of table topics today, and I congratulate all of them had to complete the speech within the allotted time limit. And Toastmaster Thomas took 2 minutes 4 seconds. Toastmaster Venkatesan took 2 minutes 17 seconds. Toastmaster Sundaresan took 1 minute 11 seconds. Our guest Jayasudha took 1 minute 12 seconds, and our guest Moinak took 1 minute 21 seconds, and Toastmaster Venkatesan took 1 minute 27 seconds, and Sundaram sir took 1 minute 31 seconds, and Karthikeyan took 1 minute 43 seconds. DTM Guru Prasad took 1 minute 59 seconds, and our Ranga took 1 minute 23 seconds, and Zagir took 1 minute 51 seconds, and our DTM guest keynote speaker took 1 minute 23 seconds, and finally Swati Devi took 2 minutes 7 seconds. So kudos to all of the speakers, and our keynote speaker DTM Beryllium took 33 minutes 8 seconds. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jairaj, for your detailed report. So now may I request Toastmaster Venkat to share our counter report.
Hi, General Evaluator. Actually, most of them are spoke very nicely. It is very less pauses and less repeats. Only in the speaker Raghunath Senior Toastmaster, he used 2 times half and 3 times like, and there are some pauses. And Aishwarya Lakshmi, evaluator, uses 4 times sound. And DTM Thomas use 1 time sound. And guest Jayasudha, she used 4 times and 4 times. And guest Moinak also used 4 times sound. And Sundaram, Toastmaster Sundaram sir used 2 times. And Karthikeyan, Toastmaster Karthikeyan used 2 times sound and 1 time sound. And Ranga, Toastmaster Ranga sir used 2 times sound. And Swati Devi, Toastmaster Swati Devi used 2 times sound. And that's also a brilliant SK sir. I did not find any flaws in our speech. Brilliant speech. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkat. So moving on to the next one of the important role, it is a grammarian. So may I request Toastmaster Dinesh to share his critical grammarian report. Over to you, Dinesh.
Thank you, General Evaluator. And what a wonderful meeting we had today. And coming upon to the word of the day, it was used twice. First by the table topic speaker, Toastmaster Amir, and our surgeon at arms, DTM Guru Prasad sir. They both used the word of the day. And coming to the prepared speech session, the first speech by Toastmaster Raghunath, what a brilliant speech. It was experience about the traveling with Malayalis all around the world. He used the words like lungi clad, monosyllabic lexical, peace with foreign language, and he finally ended his speech by saying, banana chips are down. And in the table topic session, the table topic master today, Toastmaster Dharan, each of his speeches by itself, they were very good grammatical usage. Hit the sack, boil the ocean, run around in circles, scrap the barrel. Kudos to Toastmaster Dharan. DTM Thomas used formative years. Venkatesan used adore. Guest Jayasudha used pester my husband. Guest Moinik used exotic foods. Toastmaster Venkatesan used in any relationship, importance is trust. He used a good quote. And similarly, Toastmaster Karthikeyan wrote, this is my life. If I take the risk, I will get the reward. Maybe in future it will be a good quotation by Toastmaster Karthikeyan. And similarly, even DTM Guru Prasad, if you have the right intent, machine will speak to you. Although I doubt it, but it's a very good quotation by itself. And overall, the usage of grammar was very well by all the speakers. And we, of course, had the brilliant special by DTM Brilliant SK. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh. So, Zoom Master, can I have the best tag player voting, please? Zoom Master.
You're on mute, Guru.
Guru, are you there? Okay, anyway, we will continue and we
Can you
will
hear
come
me?
back.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, now we
Yes,
can.
Guru. Yeah.
Since I'm not able to access the poll window at all, kindly send your best trackpad over to my chat window privately.
Sure. Okay. Thank you, Guru. So now moving back to the general evaluator, my comments. The meeting has started on time. We go for that, and we have one prepared speaker, and that was Raghu. We all know that Raghu has delivered a wonderful speech about the Kerala people. Good job, Raghu. Moving to DTM table topic master, DTM Taran has did an astute role today by giving idioms to most of the speaker. And most importantly, everyone talk about the idioms and they are eligible for voting. I must personally appreciate Dharan when you are in the car and I see that on the scorching sun and you are sweating. However, you are given such an amazing and interesting topic to everyone. I think in one of the speaker, you start saying that keep going, nice try. I think you used with gymnastic skill. I think gym tutor role here. I see that. Bravo, Dharan. The next educational session, phenomenally conducted by Brilliant on leadership. As the name goes, Brilliant did a brilliant and astute role today. Good job. Coming back to the improvement area, today I feel that I think there are a lot of scope of improvement to be done in our today meeting. Number one is that we had only one speaker today. Probably XCOM should have prepare a backup plan if any one of the speaker turned out in the nth hour. And also I see that there are a couple of changes in today's meeting. It would be good if we inform audience in the start of the meeting so that they also aware of that about the meeting schedule. The other important aspect which I like to highlight, though we are running in the Zoom meeting in the last, I think, 1.5 years, till we face many technical glitches. I think that is distracting the entire meeting. Coming back to that, very important, again, we had faced voting issues. In fact, it happened the last week also, and it continued for this week also. I see that voting link is not available for this week, and also very importantly, voting link was flashed in a moment when the speaker was speaking on. And even though the Toastmaster table topic master has given a astute topic, but I feel that they need to give a topic which everyone can understand. Idioms might be known to many, but not all. Coming back to the timer, I think it would be a good practice that you inform the speaker to pin the video. So rather than sharing your slide, because I see that many of the time I get distracted. And the last but not least, I feel that now presiding officer interrupted TTM session abruptly. I know that we are conscious of the time, but if the presiding officer could tell in the way that I think the next speaker will be the last speaker, then that will have the good transition. Most importantly, we didn't say the qualified TT speaker for voting. Thankfully, Zoom Master pitched in and that got clarified. On summary, I had completely enjoyed and was one of the wonderful meetings. We had different varieties of this meeting, but however, for every meeting we have the points for improvement. If we focus on this area, this areas, I think the next meetings will be the rocking sessions. Thank you, and back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for the comprehensive report. And with this moment, Toastmaster of the day, as my job is over, and you can cast your vote for the best role player, Toastmaster of the day, myself, and the General Evaluator, Toastmaster Shankar, and Table Topic Master, Toastmaster Dharan. Thank you all, and I would like to give the control back to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Ranga.
Thank you, team.
As usual, share your votes in the chat window for TMOD, G, and TD Master. Sorry for this inconvenience.
Yeah.
It's between Shankar, Mohana Sundaram, and Dharan. So I still got only 4 or 5 votes. Please speed up. It's between Shankar, Mohana Sundaram, and Dharan. Please cast your votes. I need to share this with the presiding officer.
While we are waiting for the results, I would just like to conclude by saying that we had a very interesting session today and a lot of learning on leadership. Thanks to DTM Brilliant again. I would like to call upon the guests to give their opinion on today's meeting and their takeaways. So let me just call guest Moinak. So what he feels about.
Yeah, thank you, President. This is my 5th session. I have joined. This is the 5th session of Toastmaster I have joined in this club, and now I'm well versed with the process and everything. So it was intriguing and interesting, just like any other session that I have attended the last 4 weeks. Moreover, this time we have a special guest where we learned about leadership. There are a lot of interesting insights that he gave. It was really fascinating for me. I learned a lot, and I think I will be continuing. I'm hoping that much more interesting sessions will be coming up in the future sessions. So yeah, thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, guest Moinak. They were very valuable, and we appreciate your feedback. And next, we will go to our guest Jayasudha. So after the meeting, what exactly are your impressions, and what do you feel about Medley? And
yes, sir. I was astonished to see all those brilliant speakers, especially brilliant, sir. I think so. He gave a very excellent and amazing speech, which made me scared whether to join this club or not. So I'm very much worried and bothered here. Everybody are, I think they reached the extreme, and we are stepping into the first step. It gave me that feel today. So anyway, I'm surprised. I'm happy. One day I will also reach that much height, I think. So I'm very happy to join this club. Thank you so much for the opportunity, sir.
Thank you. That's a terrific attitude, guest Jayasudha. You're most welcome to join us in the forthcoming weeks, and we'll keep in touch with you. Next, guest Zakir Amir. It's been a long time since we saw you. Guest Zakir.
Yeah. So actually, I'm out of town for the last 2 months. I've been traveling, and not even on Sundays also I'm not available. So I'm extremely sorry I couldn't participate for some time.
The voice is a little low. I'm not able to hear you.
Now it's okay?
It's slightly better.
Okay. So as usual, Medley meetings are awesome and wonderful. And today we had an extra session was superb with the TD. The new topic.
No, still very, very mild.
I'm in the basement of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'll join you sometime.
Okay. Thank you. And now it's time to announce the winners. The best TT player is guest Swati Devi. A big round of applause to her. The best tag player is Dinesh Shekhar. And the best role player is Toastmaster Shankar. Congratulations to all the winners. So I would like to thank Toastmaster Jayraj from Verizon, who came at such short notice to take up the role of the timer. And of course, the debutant TT Master, Toastmaster Dharan. Wonderful. We enjoyed the session. And with that, I would like to make an important announcement about next week's meeting. We are having our 658th meeting, and it's going to be exciting. A lot of things have been planned by Toastmaster Venkat, and just want to give a teaser. Can you see my screen? So this is a 658th milestone meeting next week. We have a plethora of activities. Please join in. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'd just like to invite you all personally. With that, with the sound of this gavel, I adjourn meeting number 649 and open